Hello, welcome to Longshot Larry's Sports Astrology. Today we're continuing on with a series of videos on team charts, and we're looking at the synastry links, or what I call team degrees. So what are they? Team degrees are common degree areas similar to synastry links. So we're looking for links or shared degree areas between the charts for a country, a coach, a players, quarterbacks, captains, and the first game chart. The most common link you'll see will be between a coach and a player. You want to keep these degree areas relatively tight. The closer the better, with an orb of 1 to 2 degrees. Conjunctions, trines and sextiles are the best. They're flowing aspects. You get squares, oppositions, quincunxes that are a bit more difficult to interpret. So we're looking for symbols of success and victory. So the sun is the number one symbol for success and recognition. So we're looking at links between the sun and the ruling planet of the sun. Next is in importance is the MC and its ruler if you have time charts, and the moon is quite helpful as well. And Mars is also another helpful planet because we're looking for competitiveness. And you can also look at the other points, but that's sort of the hierarchy. You can also look at natal as well as progressed positions. So progressed positions, the sun for example, will be in play for a season or so. So let's have a look at some examples. First one is the current women's world number one, Iga Swiatek from Poland. So we're looking at the link between her chart and the Polish chart. So the Polish chart is on the inner ring and her chart is on the outer ring. So straight away you can see this very strong connection here. The moon for Poland, which represents the public, and her sun is exactly conjunct that moon. A very, very strong link between Swiatek and Poland. Next one is another tennis one, Spain and Rafael Nadal. How do those two line up? These are the natal positions, and you can see here there's really only one strong link that I can see, and that is that Nadal has his MC in Virgo, which is trine his moon. Very good for being popular, and that is sextile the Mars of Spain, which is the sporting achievements of the country. So that's one link. But I'm going to have a look at the progressions here. When we look at the progressions, you can see that the progressed sun of Spain is 17 Capricorn, and Nadal's progressed sun is 17 Cancer. So they're always going to be in opposition. So whenever you get a sextile or trine to that degree, it's going to be beneficial for Nadal and Spain. And you can also see his progressed Mars is coming into that degree as well. So that's how the progressions can work. Moving on to football. Real Madrid, the current Champions League winners. So the coach Carlo Ancelotti, time chart, and captain Karim Benzema, also a time chart. Ancelotti's sun is in Gemini, so his ruling planet Mercury is very close to his MC here at 27 Gemini. And the captain, Benzema, he's got his Uranus sun here at 27 Sag. So the important link is Mercury and the sun here. That's the strongest link. If we bring in the other captain, Marcelo, who is the club captain but doesn't play that often, I've been informed, you can see he's a Taurus and his ruling planet Venus is also in that degree at 28 Gemini. So that's a very important degree area for Real Madrid. Next one is an AFL team. So we've got the coach here, Ben Rutten. He's the coach of Essendon. Now this club has won the equal most amount of premierships in this country. So it's a very famous club. And the captain, Dyson Heppell. So the coach, Ben Rutten, he's a Gemini with his sun conjunct Mars here in Gemini. So his ruling planet is Mercury, which is here at 16 Taurus. And Dyson Heppell, the captain, his sun is at 23 Taurus, and his ruling planet Venus is at 15 Taurus 17. So those two planets there are in conjunction. That's an important degree area. You can also see this Sun Mars here is sextile the Mars of Dyson Heppell, and his Sun and Mars are also opposite Jupiter and Uranus. So Mars is sextile the Sun and trine Jupiter. Another very important degree area. Now Essendon's had a pretty crappy year this year. They've only won 3 games, and 2 of those 3 games have been when these 2 areas have been activated, which I'll go through in the next video. If we look at the first game for Essendon, you can also see that the Sun is in a similar degree area here at 17 Taurus 50. It's a little bit wide, but that's close to the Mercury of the coach Ben Rutten. So the first game can play into this as well. Now we're going to have a look at a couple of cricket alignments or team degrees. So I love using this chart. England William the Conqueror chart from 1066, nearly 1,000 years old. We're still using this chart. I reckon that's great. Anyway, so England is a Capricorn nation and it's got a Capricorn MC, so Saturn's going to be important. And you can see in this chart here that Mercury is very closely trine Saturn. And you can see Owen Morgan, his Mars is conjunct that Mercury and his Sun is conjunct that Saturn. And even his Jupiter is in alignment there. So that's a very important degree area. Now, Owen Morgan is the captain for T20 and one-day internationals, so the short form of the game. Ben Stokes is now the Test cricket captain. Very, very close alignments there. Next one is the Indian cricket team currently is being captained by Rishabh Pant. How do those two line up? So India is an Aquarian nation. Sun at 5 degrees 40 minutes Aquarius. Now, India and Pakistan have very similar charts here, so you can't really use this when India's playing Pakistan. But anyway, so Rishabh Pant's Uranus is closely aligned with the Sun there. His Uranus is sextile Mars and Pluto natally and trine his Mercury. So that's a nice mini grand trine there with the Indian Sun. And the other thing is that Rishabh Pant has a natal Sun trine Jupiter. And this links in very nicely with India because India's Mars, which represents sporting achievements, is conjunct the South Node, but Mars is trine Jupiter natally, and you can see his Sun trine Jupiter lines very nicely with that. Now that degree was active when India won the third game in the current T20 series against South Africa, and I'll go through that in the next video. Here we have the NFL, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. They have won 6 Super Bowls together, the most successful combination in NFL history. Let's have a look and see how they line up. So Tom Brady, he's on the outer ring here. See straight away his Sun is in Leo, sextile Mars, part of fortune, it's a time chart, and sextile Pluto. What a great alignment. If he wasn't a quarterback, he could probably be a boxer with a Mars-Pluto alignment like that. But how does he link with Bill Belichick? Well, you can see Bill Belichick's Saturn here is conjunct the Pluto of Tom Brady. That's not something you would plan for. But his Saturn is sextile his Sun and trine Mars, which links in with that Sun, Mars, Pluto pattern. Also, his Pluto, Bill Belichick's Pluto is conjunct the Saturn of Tom Brady. Once again, that's probably a challenging alignment between the two of them. I suppose they revolutionised each other's career, Pluto's Saturn. What else they got? Tom Brady's Jupiter is up here in Gemini, and Bill Belichick has his Sun Jupiter conjunction. It's a rough time for Bill Belichick. My guess is it's probably a little bit closer and in that Kazemi position since he's had such a successful career, but that is sextile. And we also have the Moon for Tom Brady is conjunct the Venus for Belichick, so that's an emotional link between the two. Potentially Belichick's Moon, somewhere around here in Capricorn, is opposite the MC for Brady. So that's the links. You would probably expect something a bit different to that, but that's the most successful quarterback coach combination in history. Looking at NBA now. So the Golden State Warriors have just won the final series, 4-2. So let's have a look. So on the inner ring here, we've got the first game for Golden State and the outer ring, head coach Steve Kerr. So the strongest combination here is the Sun for the first game is conjunct Venus of Steve Kerr, and Venus rules his Libran Sun. His Pluto and Uranus are also sextile that, but that's a very strong link. If we look at Steve Kerr's chart progressed, you can see that his Sun has moved around here to 0 Sagittarius. It's conjunct the Mars for the first game for Golden State for a year or two, and Mars is a co-ruler of the Scorpio Sun, so that's another link. Looking at Steph Curry, the leading point scorer in the final series. How does he link in? Well, Steve Kerr's on the inner ring here. You can see Steve Kerr's Mars at 25 Scorpio is trine the Sun of Steph Curry at 24 Pisces. And if you remember, that degree area was on the IC, conjunct Mars and Neptune for a lunar eclipse prior to the final series. Also, Steph Curry's Mars here at 14 Capricorn is sextile the Venus of Steve Kerr and sextile the Sun in the first game. And also his Ascendant at 0 Leo is trine the Venus and Mars of the first game and the progress Sun of Kerr. Very interesting links there. So that's how we look for team degrees. In the next video, we're going to look at how you'll use those team degrees with these criteria, planets on angles, exact aspects, and planetary stations to improve our probability of getting a correct prediction. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, make a comment, and we'll see you in the next video.